Alright guys, welcome to This Week in Wrestling, covering everything that's gone on over the course of this past week, a week which seen Kevin Owens crowned the new WWE Universal Champion. The crowning came this past Monday night on Raw, where we're seeing a fatal 4-way elimination match to crown a new champion following Finn Balor relinquishing the championship due to injury, with the match featuring Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns and Big Cass, with Big Cass being the first to be eliminated before Triple H would intervene and take out both Roman Reigns and former protege Seth Rollins, leaving Kevin Owens free to make the pinfall and be crowned the new WWE Universal Champion. So congratulations to Kevin Owens. This has been a long time coming, and it's great to see Owens now on top of the WWE, where it could be set for all kinds of Dream Championship matches. None that I would like to see more than Kevin Owens against Sami Zayn on the main stage of WrestleMania for the Universal Championship. Meanwhile, in this week's poll, we're asking what you thought of Owens' win and who you would like to see him defend the championship against. You can see Twitter responses across the bottom of the screen, but make sure to get involved and let me know your thoughts in the comments. Moving on to this week's second story, and Paul Heyman this week revealed the opponent for Brock Lesnar at WWE's upcoming live event on Saturday, September 24th, and that will be none other than the Viper, Randy Orton, as the pair set to square off once again in a rematch of their SummerSlam showdown, which ended with Lesnar busting Orton open badly with elbows to the head in a UFC-style victory via TKO. At present, there's no plans to have the live event shown on the WWE Network, however, with such a big matchup now taking place, plans may likely change. Up next, we have the confirmation that Roman Reigns is the greatest wrestler in the world today. How is that so? Well, this week's seen the release of the PWI 500, which ranks the top 500 professional wrestlers in the world, and it was topped by none other than Roman Reigns. I'll leave a link to the full list in the video description so you can check and see where your favourite stars ranked, but to name the top 10, PWI lists John Cena at number 10, Dean Ambrose number 9, Seth Rollins number 8, NXT champion Shinsuke Nakamura at number 7, newly crowned Universal Champion Kevin Owens at number 6, Ring of Honor star Jay Lethal number 5, the phenomenal AJ Styles at number 4, former Universal Champion Finn Balor at number 3, the Rainmaker Okada at number 2, and Roman Reigns top of the list at number 1, where he jumps 3 places from last year in which he finished 4th. So that's the top 10 of the PWI 500 for 2016. Do you agree with it? Let me know your thoughts in the comments and who you would list as your top wrestler in the world today. Moving on, and we'll have some news on the currently suspended Alberto Del Rio, as reports coming out this week suggest Del Rio is finished with WWE and that he won't be returning to the company once his current 30-day suspension ends. Helping to confirm these reports, WWE have not only removed Del Rio from all live event listings during his suspension, but also all upcoming dates, with F4W Online reporting both Del Rio and WWE have come to terms on a release, which leave them free to work in Mexico and internationally immediately. However, to work in the US, you need to see out WWE's no-compete clause as part of the terms of his release. As for the reasoning behind all this, it's been reported that it all comes down to Del Rio being unhappy with the way in which he's been booked after being given certain promises that include a main event push that never came to fruition. Switching from Del Rio to his real-life girlfriend Paige, who also finds herself suspended, albeit for reasons different to that of Del Rio, Mr. St. Laurent and Kevin Sullivan discussed the pair on this week's episode of MSL and Sullivan, in which they revealed WWE went to great lengths to split the pair up, reporting that WWE's Mark Carrano approached both Paige and Del Rio individually and harassed the pair about their relationship, as the office wanted them to sever their romantic ties. They also went on to reveal that WWE intentionally drafted the pair to separate shows in the brand split in order to separate them, before threatening to fire Paige if she didn't break up with Del Rio. Obviously, it's hard to confirm these reports as it's simply hearsay, but this could also be part of the reason why Del Rio is now done with WWE. Switching NXT, and this week WWE announced the next NXT Takeover special will be heading to the Air Canada Centre in Toronto on Saturday, November 19th as part of the Survivor Series weekend. As of yet, no matches have been announced, but the show will make for a glorious homecoming for Bobby Roode as he hails from Toronto. Therefore, maybe we'll see Roode take the step up and take on new NXT champion Shinsuke Nakamura. Someone who isn't feeling too glorious at present is Bo Dallas, as this past week seen Bo kicked off a plane in Dallas after appearing intoxicated and yelling at the flight crew. Reports say officers boarded the plane to find Dallas slumped over in a chair and smelling of alcohol, with officers asking how much he'd had to drink, only to get the reply, "I'm not really planning on driving tonight." As a result of this, the officers determined his level of intoxication was a danger to himself and others, therefore they placed him under arrest and removed him from the plane, presumably stating, "Bo, leave." Finally, as has been heavily speculated in past months, it's been reported this week that WCW legend Goldberg is now in talks with WWE over a potential return to the ring. Obviously, as people on this channel well know, Goldberg is this year's pre-order bonus in WWE 2K17 and has been a big part of the promotion for the game alongside Brock Lesnar, both of whom were at last month's big 2K17 event in New York City, in which I had the pleasure to speak to Goldberg and ask him about a WWE return and who he'd like to face if he had one more match. So I'll leave a link to that video in the description so you can see who he said he'd want to face, as well as hear his comments on the current guys as he calls out Seth Rollins. Getting back to the story though, and TMZ reporting that both Goldberg and WWE are now talking about expanding the relationship after 2K opened the door to a possible return, as they have in past years with both Sting and the Ultimate Warrior. When asked if he'd be open to return to the ring for WWE, Goldberg told TMZ that he'd entertain it, with the website following up that an inside source claims the wheels are already in motion regarding a return. So it looks like we may very well see Goldberg back in WWE in the coming months, as he'd be the perfect guy to come in and try and take down Brock Lesnar following his destruction of Randy Orton. Anyway guys, that brings us to the end of This Week in Wrestling. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, I'd love it if you could drop it a like, as well as letting me know your thoughts on all of this week's stories in the comments. Until next time, I hope you all have an awesome weekend, and I'll catch you later.